Welcome everyone to Seekers of Sarmanath, session 15. Sorry about the late start. Had to work on some camera issues. OBS was a big meanie to me today, but hopefully you are entertained by the plugging that happened pre-stream. Anyway, so we are back with more of this. Is there any point in going around and asking you what you've been doing for the last week? Does anyone have stories they want to share that didn't get off their chest earlier?
Nah.
I played so much Final Fantasy this past week. You guys don't even know.
I got my Dark Knight to level 60. It's great. They have like a giant katana sword you can get. It's the perfect edgelord weapon. Got a massive pompadour. It's very thematically fitting. Everything.
Are you at least like a cat lady or something?
No, I'm playing a dude. I main paladin.
Come on.
So I only leveled up Dark Knight in case they butcher that when the new expansion comes out.
You said I play a dude, and then you said you main paladin. Are you trying to imply that women can't be paladins, Sean? Is that what's happening right now?
No, she asked if I was a cat lady or a cat boy or something.
Okay. So you're just saying that cat people can't be paladins.
Yeah, no, cat people
are clearly inherently evil, right? They can't be a paladin.
But there wasn't there some kind of controversy? Was it Final Fantasy where I can't remember, but some strong race couldn't be female or something? Wasn't there something like that?
Yeah, that was way back in like the original Final Fantasy 14, and then they re-released it as a Realm Reborn like 5 years ago, and all the gender lock stuff was removed, like all of it. So you've got cat boys and cat girls. You've got
very good.
Damn, I just wanted to see a whole pack of guys playing cat girls.
But trust me, there are plenty of MMOs that you can see that if that's what you're into.
Yeah, no. Instead, you just have massive packs of girls playing cat boys. It goes the other way around in Final Fantasy.
It actually is a thing. It's so fucking mind-breakingly weird. Because like you hear the voice over IP and they're all like, "We're gonna get you," and I was like, "That was not what I was expecting from."
It never should have come here.
Boys.
Yeah.
They begin walking forward, snapping at you.
Wow.
Anywho.
All right. Well, thank you
this.
for regaling us with your Final Fantasy. We look forward to this every week. I'm really nervous about finishing Final Fantasy X so that I get on to 11. But here we go.
Ooh.
So,
wait,
yes.
10-2, right? 10-2.
10-2.
Please play 10-2. It's really good.
Don't play 10-2.
Okay. All right. 10-2 is a very enjoyable game. The gameplay is very fun. The writing and the story and the characters is horrible.
It's still a Final Fantasy game, though.
Yeah,
I'm playing the main numbered series games. Dan has disappeared. Okay.
Isn't 10-2 a main numbered series game?
Wait.
I mean,
No, it is a
it's
sequel.
not like. Oh, I know
You're not going to play every Final Fantasy 13 game? You're not going to play...
No, I will play the bare minimum of 13, goddammit. Bare minimum. Okay.
13 was my introduction to Final Fantasy.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
What?
9
I had
my introduction.
no idea what was going on.
Yeah,
I remember
mine was
starting
8.
it, and they're like, the Fall Sea, and I was going, did I need to play all 13 games before this? Is that why I don't know what's going on?
Just the writing and storytelling is incompetent in 13.
Most
Okay.
games.
All right.
Like, what's
Enough
going
Final
on?
Fantasy talk, y'all.
Right there. Wow.
Enough Final Fantasy talk, y'all. Wait, hold on. Are you telling me that was not a true statement I made about Final Fantasy 13? Because it is.
I don't know. I don't remember Final Fantasy 13. I just you're calling something incompetent.
It is. It is utterly
Wrong
incompetent.
words.
It is the worst story ever told in the worst way ever told. It is. The story itself is the reason why 13 is broken mess.
Big claims by Greg.
It's
Worst
terrible.
story
Well,
ever told.
The
That's
story is so
terrible.
complicated they made a wiki for it so you can read through it if you didn't understand.
And
which
if
is
you
what
read it,
I
it
did.
still sucks. Okay, here we go. It's squashing the Final Fantasy talk.
salty about I'm
It's a
gonna
little negative
play the
energy,
game. I
let
still
it out
own
now.
it. I'm gonna finish Final Fantasy 13. I'm gonna do it at some point.
There's no point.
I will feel accomplished, Greg.
Let
the
me tell you,
moment-
I finished that game. There is no joy at the end for anybody. It's really, you're just like, oh,
That happened.
Is the only
Okay.
joy the fact that you're done? Is that where the joy comes from? Is I
I
don't have to play this.
That's like me with Mass Effect 3. Everyone was like, it's a great game except for the ending. There was nothing good about Mass Effect 3. That whole thing was
I liked the first Mass Effect game a lot, and 2 and 3 were not as good as the first one was.
Agreed. But 3 was like especially awful. I remember the first time I quit it, I like Alt F4'd out of the game because they added another fucking action to the spacebar where if you used it in just like nowhere, you do like a dodge roll. And after like the 50th time of dodge rolling into a wall instead of pressing a button, I just Alt F4'd and uninstalled the game. I was so mad.
Nice.
Didn't even make it through the tutorial section.
Anyways, are we gonna play or should I just talk about video games?
We can talk about this all night.
I've never played a single Final Fantasy game, so all of this is not completely.
I was waiting for Dan to say he'd never played a single video game.
That's completely not accurate anyway. I'd be surprised if any of you guys play more video games than me. I'd be surprised. And I know Millman plays video games all day.
I'm literally about to say.
And I know you play all day, and that's and saying that and seeing that, I still play more than you. It's bad.
Okay.
But how many hours of that is like 2K?
No, I stopped playing 2K. I don't like. They made it so much based on just like looking at the stupid bars. Like you don't even look at the person's jump shot. Like you release it in the middle of your shot, and it's like, but just because the bar told me I had to wait another half a second, like that's not when you should be releasing the ball.
Yep. I agree.
He's doing what I do in shooting games, but in actual ball games. Video games, this is confusing.
Oh, and then when your players just drop the ball, I was just done with it.
Yeah. Kyrie Irving just like decides to kick the ball at half court. You're like, what the fuck? Okay, all right. So
we can make our own other show where we just come together as a group to talk about video games.
It has no coherence to it. It's just like a series of disconnected discussions about different video games that some people are into and others aren't.
It's just a podcast of us talking about video games is all that would be.
What a great name for a podcast, by the way. A series of disconnected discussions.
Trademarked.
Can somebody go copyright that real quick?
I'm on it.
All right.
As Millman copyrights it in Australia, and it means nothing.
No. I'm going to do it in the States because we don't have any of that sort of copyright law in Australia.
No copyright law in Australia. Everybody, go there to print
Get
your
over there.
knockoff tees.
Start printing out your books.
Books are covered under a different law over here, so books you can't rip off. But like,
so when the EU bans memes, the like last bastion will be Australia. Is that what I hear?
Oh, fucking oath! Come to Australia. Memes aren't banned. Just you gotta accept the weather.
Well, no, but Australia banned encryption, so Australia might not be around much longer.
What are you talking about banning encryption? Everything's encrypted. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, that's the problem. Your lawmakers like came around and said encryption is illegal now.
Yeah.
And it's completely disconnected from reality, but we don't really know what's going to happen with that.
Shall we play some D&D, guys?
Speaking of
we should definitely avoid more rambling and get into some D&D. We've been rambling for 30 minutes. Okay, so last session for Gorik, who was not here. Previously on Seekers of Sarmanath. The four of you who left the Manor Taranj began journeying up the road, seeing once again, the strange flight of griffins that seemed to be unnaturally hunting or following something that you had seen on the way back down. But worried about the potential fate of your friend Janlar, who had teleported away at the end of the fight with the robed wizard, you decided to press on, ignoring them, heading into the city of Sarmanath itself. While there, you met back up with Janlar, who told you that, he had come through the portal and was recently held in some sort of imprisonment while they watched him to make sure that he was not a threat to the Seekers Guild itself, having penetrated all of their defenses with the magical spell from the book, but was eventually given release to walk around the city and begin his exploration again with you after it was deemed he was no longer a threat and he held no no seeker magic or no rift magic that was dangerous to the city itself. After some time shopping and getting your bearing back in the city, you decided to once again head back out in the mountains to try to discover the reason behind these strange griffin sightings that you had found. After some wandering, you found a small natural cave where some unnatural hippogriffs were kind of keeping watch. Rose attempted to befriend them and seemed to be on a fairly good track until suddenly startling them with a vine whip to get up onto the cliff. A pitched battle ensued in which many hippogriffs were slain, and some feathers were claimed for Sambar's bow. Upon entering the cave, you saw a group of griffins that were clearly trained and well-trained by a strange robed figure who had piles of dead kills brought to him by his animals that he seemed to be working on. In this pitched battle that followed, many of your companions fell, leaving only, I believe, Janlar left standing, while the rest of you lay unconscious at various times, battling the griffins. But finally, all of them were felled, and with some lucky medicine rolls and some clever clericking, we managed to get all of you stable. And we will come into play 4 hours after the events of last stream. You are all waking up in the cavern. Goric, you were asleep somewhere in Sarmanath. You found a little note saying where they would be. During this long pitched battle and the 4 hours of resting required to bring our heroes up from 0 HP, your old man has managed to clamber his way into the cave.
Maybe that's what I was doing for the hour while they were waking up, so I was trying to help Goric up this huge
Janlar leaving his companions
I'm
in the
not
cave.
strong enough to do so, but I'm trying to help the old guy.
Helps old man Goric up into this cave after spotting him wandering around in the mountains below, searching for his friends, like senile old men, I presume, do. So, you all wake up in this cave here. Let's go ahead and move ourselves back to it. Obviously, we've kind of reused this from the last one. You can ignore anything beyond this dead wizard here, kind of in this range here. The cave ends. So
you just showed him where, and he wasn't even logged in.
Yeah, I was gonna say the one person that doesn't know. The one person not.
Yeah, that's why I'm not in the roll 20. It's because
it wasn't there.
Right. That's...
All right. So, Tom, Rose, Sambar, you all wake up with 1 HP after 4 hours. You find yourself back in this cave. There are a pile of dead kills, various creatures from the mountains, many of them goats and deer and the like, many of them a little bit more fantastic. You can see other hippogriffs and some of the more fantastical creatures lying in the pile as well. It seems that there was some kind of patchwork being done. These creatures kind of cut into and sewn back together in various ways. The work seems to have been interrupted in the middle of it when you slew this robed person. The rest of the cave, you wander around, you see cages. Large, meant to be not too stifling for the creatures. For all of the dead animals that you have killed, it seems that each one of them has a cage to match, along with some very clear riding harnesses and other accoutrements that would make you think that they were pets of some kind.
So there's a fluffy bunny that one snuggles up to.
Yes, yes. In one of the hippogriff cages, there is a large fluffy bunny. Unfortunately, it's had its head pecked off, so a little bit unuseful for you.
Damn. Can you use it as bait?
You can use the fluffy bunny for whatever you desire.
But like when Sambar wakes up, you just see him burst to life. He's like, "Did we win?" And then realize there's no one else around, but the other guys are laying on the ground. I'm like, okay, I guess we kind of won. Where's Janlar?
Shows up and revives everyone. That's really what Goric does. He just finds all
Sambar, over here. I'm helping Goric up.
Oh, okay. You're not dead. I was a bit worried there.
I'm definitely wounded though.
So,
large cuts down my body.
Sandbar, you wake up. You are next to a big pile of dead bodies. Your hunger grows.
I know.
Do you want to eat these bodies?
No, we'll save. Let's go.
All right. You gain 3 hunger from seeing this bounty in front of you.
All right. Let's see if I can pass my roll. I crit it. Don't worry about it.
All right. Sandbar, you grow hunger. Please add the 3 hunger to your character sheet. But you manage to resist the temptation to feast on these bodies.
You see the whole teeth out going, veiny face. I'm like, give me a minute. Only a minute. Okay, I'm good. Really need to sort out this curse situation. Silver Stomach's coming back, and I don't feel like going to see that witch again. I'm gonna need to eat something though, and I just like reach into my bag and grab out one of those oranges. I've only got 2 left.
So.
Oh, actually, no, I have 5 left. Hell yeah.
Now that the whole party is together and awoken from their battle, what do?
I feel like that rest helped me reflect on my experiences and grow as a cleric.
Oh, God. More fire? Did you go to hell? That is what I believe hell is.
There is more fire, but in the flames there's something. You were all cursed in the realm of the Silver Lord, right?
No, just me.
Just you? Sandbar, tomorrow I might have something for you.
I highly doubt it, but we can give it a go. I'm down. A possible solution is better than no solution at all.
Agreed.
But, excuse me for a moment, I have some griffin feathers to pluck out. But, while we're doing that, loot that dude and find out what he was doing with these bodies.
Yeah, I definitely want to do that.
That shit is not cool, and I don't want to fight an abomination.
Agreed. When Sandbar is plucking all the feathers from those bodies, does he just feel like an irresistible hunger as he looks at this
yeah,
like right
definitely.
in front of him? He can like smell the fresh kill.
I can feel it in my stomach.
More
I'm
importantly,
like, oh, yeah.
he smells the like fetid kind of viscera that has sat in this kind of damp cave for some amount of time, being cut open. That just like pool of bloody mess over there. Oh, it's a delicious smell to Sandbar's nose.
And does he say that it smells good to him?
I'd say yes, right? Like I said, like give me a minute. It smells delicious in here, right? Like,
yeah, like we're all going. I want to get out of this death-smelling cave. Well, Sandbar's like, what is that intoxicating aroma?
Literally that.
When you mentioned that this guy had like a chain tattoo on his arms, right? I want to look at it.
The red robe that he is wearing is embroidered with a chain across the shoulders of the robe and is otherwise blank. Like
if I pull out my robe that I got from the realm of the Silver Lord, is it like a cheap knockoff of mine?
No, yours is very different. Yours is these interconnected, almost like scales of crystal that cascade down. It's much too big to fit any human you've met. Maybe it would fit Lionstalker the Goliath, but it might be too big for him as well. You could, of course, hem it down and cut some of it off. But no, this is clearly material that you would normally not see in the world that as you know it.
Yeah, but like is the evil guys, they're wearing a cheap knockoff, right? Like no, it's just completely different league.
The robe that you have is something completely unusual, and the robe that he's wearing is red. It's cotton or wool, probably both, and the only adornment on it is the embroidered chain across the shoulders.
Does it look like iconography of the Silver Lord? Like
yes. You would recognize you would recognize it as similar to the many chain patterns inside the temple you found in Willard's Mill.
Greg, while we're looking around, I would take the time to cast Detect Magic.
All right. Absolutely. You spend 10 minutes casting Detect Magic. The other thing that you find on this man's body, of course, is a large kind of like sewing kit. It is made of bone with different qualities of threads, some of them almost metallic, some of them very fine like silk. There are different needles and the like. It seems to be open and in mid-use. There's parts of it strewn on the ground next to his now dead body. He also has an empty quiver and a long bow. It stands the 6 feet from the top of his head to the bottom of his shoes, and is strung with a like thick leather cord. Not a traditional bowstring. Janlar, as your ritual magic comes into effect and you look around, you do see the magical resonance coming from this bow.
Yeah, if I see
does it come from the quiver as well, or is it only the bow?
Only the bow.
Okay, let me add that in.
It looks like a huge bow that would take kind of like a lot of strength to really wield.
It's a big, heavy longbow. Yes.
It sounds like a riding one as well.
Yeah.
I think riding ones are usually smaller, aren't they?
Does the Detect Magic give me
depends
kind
on
of
where
like
it's from.
It just detects it, right? It doesn't give me any kind of a
The school of magic on this is enchantment.
enchantment. Okay. I would point out the bow and say that it appears to be a magical bow.
You see my ears perk up. Oh, really?
Sandbart, it looks too big for me. I don't even know if I could pull the string.
You know it. Toss it here. Come on. Hands up. Let's go.
I have no idea what it does.
Well, give me a second, and I want to grab an arrow and just pull it back and see.
All right.
It feel any different?
You knock an arrow and you pull back on the leather cord. It feels very difficult to pull back. It takes almost all of your strength. Your muscles bulge and ripple as you pull back. But sure enough, the bow tenses and you have a knocked arrow ready to fire. As you hold the arrow, it almost like quivers in your fingers as if it's ready to be unleashed.
All right, well, I'm not going to fire it. I'm just going to relax it. Yeah, this is going to be a good time. I don't want to shoot at anything in here just in case, like, this cave collapses or,
I destroy half the forest.
You know, I don't want to find out how bad this is yet. I want to fire it at somebody.
For
Exactly.
a mere 100 gold pieces, I could identify it for you.
I have 100 gold pieces, but I can't spare 100 gold pieces.
Gorik's ear is gonna twitch, and he's gonna be like, "Janlar, are you charging for identify spells now?
I am out of pearls.
What has capitalism done to you?"
Gorik, if I could afford to identify this, I would do so right now. But I only have 93 gold myself.
Yeah.
We'll finish looting. We'll get out of here. Hold up. And I look at the griffin. Is its head perfectly intact? Because I could use a shoulder thingy that I'm going to use.
You can...
And or a snack.
You can attempt to salvage one griffin head trophy from these dead griffins lying on the ground here.
All right.
Please make me a survival dexterity check in order to...
Okay, so I'm going to roll the same roll, but add 2. Okay, here we go.
All right, so yeah. You spend some time with your knife or whatever sharp you have on your character sheet.
Dagger. Yeah.
Your dagger, yes. You begin carefully skinning the griffin. You find a head that's largely intact from the battle, and you carefully disconnect it and clean it and get it ready to be made into a trophy.
Perfect. I look at the putty. Are griffin claws useful? I don't think... Are they any sharper than regular claws? I'm going to hold up its leg. No one? I thought Rose would know something.
They were very short.
I have a headache. I think I'm going to wait outside.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk outside as he's like tearing those griffins apart, and there's still all this blood stuff. I'm just like, I need a little break.
How is Rose feeling about all this, actually?
She's feeling pretty bad. Like, that was the closest call she's ever had. I mean, she was smashed very far into the negative HB, and she saw her friends going down in Gen Love Run, right? And she was going in there with the hope that somehow they might still turn it around, but then she got crushed, and for her, she thought that was it, right? That was the last thing she remembered, and then she wakes up and we're still all there. So she is really relieved. But she's also feeling terrible about the whole, because that was not what she expected. She came here to, change things as a druid and have a good impact on whatever the creatures were doing here. And then she realized that they were just being manipulated and that she put everybody in danger over this, which is not what she really, wanted. So she's feeling really bad about dragging her people out here and then having this whole situation be such a mess. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Rose waits outside while Sambar continues to butcher the griffins inside this cave.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Let me know when you're ready to go. And I'm just butchering the shit out of it.
Short rest.
Absolutely, yeah. So you've spent an hour or so in here. You can spend another 10 minutes to treat some wounds, eat some rations, do what you must do. Here, we'll move this over so people can see the rolls. Go ahead and expend any hit dice that you need to get yourself back up to travelable state. Regain any resources that you would normally do on a long rest. And after about 10 minutes of, taking a deep breath, eating some food, getting yourself ready to go, you feel refreshed and ready to adventure once more.
I'm going to harvest the griffin claws, I think.
Okay. All right. What I would like for you then is just another survival dexterity check to harvest the claws, unless you have some other tool proficiency or skill.
15?
A 15? You are capable of getting 1d8 plus 2 griffin claws.
Plus 2. Well, not equals 2. Plus 2. I'll take 5.
All right. Yeah. 5 griffin claws are manageable, are harvestable. The rest of them were either broken in battle or just your skills were such that you weren't able to harvest them successfully.
Gotta get those antique, unique armors made. So, all animal bits.
Brimplestein will be very happy to take some griffin claws from you, I'm sure.
I thought so. Oh, out of the pile of dead animals, was there the flying animal that we were meant to be looking for? Well, I was
Pterodon. Are you going to search through the pile of dead animals yourself?
I'm going to fight this. And
all right. When you get up next to this big pile of dead viscera, you once again feel the pang of hunger in your stomach. You've already saved against this, so I'm not going to make you save again.
Oh, I was happy to save
but I am going to make you take 3 more points of hunger on your character sheet as you begin wading through this pile of half-sewn together creatures. All right, give me an investigation check. Investigation intelligence, I believe. Nature is intelligence based, so we'll go investigation intelligence.
Yep. Rolling. 6.
You do not manage to find the pterodons in here. Whether there were any to begin with or whether there never was, their teeth are not to be found.
Well, when I'm done, I'm going to turn to Tom and be like, you need to burn this thing. Somebody can't finish his work. This is the one time I'm all about you burning things.
Isn't he dead?
Give me until tomorrow morning.
Well, we're leaving now, so...
Let's camp outside tonight, and then I can burn it tomorrow morning. It's already late in the day. We've been traveling. We fought. It's been like 4 hours.
Are you just burning hands or something?
I used every single spell I had in that fight.
Oh. Okay. Do I have oil or something? Because I really don't want to be here.
Look, we can just go outside. We'll go down the cliff, and we'll camp in the woods below. Don't worry, Sambar.
Do I have...
Okay.
I don't get fire spells like Tom because I'm not a fire domain cleric.
You're grave domain, so yours will be different. Yeah. Almost all of his fire spells come from his domain.
Wait, I think you have like the rot, so it just rots into a pile of goo on the ground?
No, I don't have decompose. I don't know.
So, you guys have rested. Obviously, Sambar is looking to maybe destroy this pile. Are you going to... It sounds like Tom wants to rest here. Are you going to rest for a night? Are you going to take a long rest and move on the next day? Or are you heading out? What's the plan here, gang?
I think Tom's going to advocate for doing the long rest. Just head down to the base of the cliff and rest outside.
Yeah, I agree. I had one spell left. I'm not trying to go anywhere right now.
We looted everything on the wizard, right? Or we looked through all of his stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm okay with taking the long rest down there.
Yep, I'm down. So we can head down.
All right. You all
I
leave...
will head the party.
You all leave the cave behind and walk down to the cliffs below in the hippogriff nest. How far away do you go from this cave up here?
Maybe we should get, maybe
at least until
half mile.
I
Maybe
can't smell the bodies anymore.
Yeah, but also if more griffins come back, it'd probably be a good idea to make sure that we're not in the immediate vicinity.
Okay, so you're just going a half mile away, tracking down. You're tracking down this in the afternoon sun, and make your way a half mile down to set up camp for the night. Let's see what happens to you. Your night passes fairly uneventfully. Each of you take turns watching the stars in the sky pass. You hear some cries of animals off in the distance, but nothing seems to get too close to you, and you manage to pass your evening without any interruptions.
All right. Tom wakes up like an alarm clock with the sunrise and starts preparing spells.
All right. At the crack of dawn, Tom begins preparing spells.
I thought you clerics believe in God. Go back to sleep. Fuck.
All right, Sinlar, get up, and he grabs him by like the scruff of his armor, and he like pulls him up. And he says, "All right, let's see if this does it." And I'm going to cast Remove Curse on Sandbar.
All right, and you're doing this at a 3rd level spell?
3rd level spell. At your touch, all curses affecting one creature or object end. If the object is a cursed magic item, it's all just cursed magic item stuff. That's the entirety of the spell description.
All right, so
it's not a ritual spell.
Yeah, you have to cast it as a spell slot. So you cast a 3rd level. What does it look like, Tom, when you call upon the magic of Remove Curse? What do we see?
Oh, he sets him on fire, right? No.
That was great.
I think that might actually be it. It's like a painful burning sensation that just kind of like radiates through his whole body. It's like burning out the wickedness that's nested inside of him.
I'm never gonna want you to do this again.
All right.
I'm just getting out of my bedroll.
I think most of Tom's spells that are not like explicitly fire based are probably pretty subtle and not like visually visible for the most part.
Okay.
But it probably does have that burning component of just like agonizing burning that radiates through his body as it tries to burn out the curse affecting him.
You rub your hands together and lay them on Sambar. Focus your magical energies through him. And you feel the spreading warmth of I forgot my own god's name for half a second.
Bridges.
Thank you. You feel the spreading warmth of Bridges begin to sleep out of your fingers. And then you feel immediately a cold, utter emptiness beginning to like consume that magical fire. I want you to make an Arcana Wisdom check. Arcana Wisdom. That is DC Sambar's Hunger.
7.
Sambar.
DC 7.
Woo!
13. All right. Sambar, you feel your hunger begin to wane as it consumes this kind of magical energy. And the edge is taken off. You cast this as a 3rd level spell. Double that is 6 hunger. Please remove 6 hunger from your character sheet.
Oh, thank God. You see me just like holding at me guts, and I'm like, that hurt like a motherfucker.
But it seems like it didn't fix the root problem, though.
No, I probably have a lump of silver in the bottom of my stomach now, and I'm
It's a physical object?
I don't know.
Should we cut you open and remove it?
I'd rather not, because then you're going to want to seal the wound with fire, and I'm not about that.
Gorik, do you think we could perform a surgery out here, or should we go back to Sarmanath first?
I look at Sambar and I say, well, his constitution is fairly hearty, but I am not certain if the curse that he is suffering will have affected it. Perhaps we should wait to get back to town.
That's a fair idea. I'd feel more comfortable doing it in a proper setting, anyways.
I'm sure Sambar would too.
Yeah, you can wash your hands first.
What about Janla?
Is Janlar cursed?
No.
No?
No.
I mean, he is like pretty frail at the moment, but like I don't think we can.
Was
fix
that a lingering curse, or was that just like your HP got sucked up?
We got our HP sucked out.
I think my HP sucked out. It wasn't like a curse or anything.
Okay,
so-
I figured it was a curse, but that's fine.
I can try and remove it.
I mean, we haven't
if
detected any curses on me, right? Like, we've cast detect curse higher.
You casted Lesser Restoration on him, and you actually, you know what? Let me get a. Can you make a religion check or a Arcana check, whichever is your stronger
I'll do
one?
it.
Yeah, we'll see if you figured out what the deal was here.
Is this wisdom or intelligence?
Your strongest stat. Give me your best roll.
Cool.
I was waiting
11.
for him to be like, you still fail.
All right. Maybe you don't know the exact nature of it. You know Lesser Restoration was not strong enough to get the job done, but you felt like perhaps a stronger version of that spell might have done it.
Okay, so it's not a curse, but it's like a physical impairment that I could potentially fix in the future.
That seems to be what you understand it to be.
Yeah, so I think it's... Janlar's going to be quite a ways off. I'm going to need some rather potent magic for his case.
Could you just buy some magic for curing his case, like in town?
We can't even cast Identify anymore. Anyways, let's go burn this cave up really fast, and then we can head back to Sarmanath. Yeah, we can head back to Sarmanath and do our surgery.
Oh god.
All right, Tom. Flaming sphere? Something?
Yeah, we're gonna drop. I'm gonna go in alone and like pile up these bodies a little bit, like pull everything into a center together, like the rotting stuff piled together with the fairly fresh stuff.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna drop a flaming sphere, starting like right on top of this big mass of bodies. There's probably just like sizzling, popping, burning flesh.
Sambar, how close are you when this happens?
Rose is like super happy she's not there.
Okay. All right.
And then after it like it probably like sinks through this like through this pile of bodies. Once it gets to the bottom, I just start having like roll around chaotically, bouncing off walls, destroying everything it can.
Knocking 3 times.
Literally getting a fire.
Yeah, if I hear any rings, I tell everyone to come over and I knock 3 times.
All right. After a few minutes of righteous Bridges-fueled destruction in the cave, there is nothing but smoldering ash left of any of the remains, and the cages themselves are probably broken and burnt and mangled by your magics as well.
All right, job's done. Let's head back to Sarmanath.
All right. So, you are not far from Sarmanath, and the few of you begin the trek back up. The bells ring for returning seekers, and you are once again in the confines of your home city. The kind of smell of civilization once again hits you, right? The sweat and sewage and the blistering kind of sun. Although it is colder this time of year, you hear the hawking of merchants and the clamor of people in the streets. Tell me, what are you up to?
I'm going to need to go see the armor and give him these griffin claws and the head to put on my armor. Aha.
Sambar, come back to the. I'll get everything ready. I have an idea on how to perform the surgery. You think it's a lump of silver in your stomach?
I don't think it's an actual lump of stomach, but when they were looking at my stomach, they said there was something in the pit of my stomach, so I'm assuming it's something to do with the...
It might be something physical. If I couldn't remove it with remove curse, there might be a... It would explain something. Trying to remove a curse from a physical object is much harder than from a person. So if it's something that's physically manifested inside of your body, that would explain things.
Do I have cancer? Am I going to die?
Yes, Greg.
Don't worry about this. I've been looking at the spell list, and I think D&D universe has better surgery than a parallel universe with advanced technology.
But it's certainly cheaper in the D&D universe, I'm sure.
All right. Well, we'll be there soon.
All right.
Do you want to come to the shop again? You really like this guy. The ale's not great, but it's free, so
it is free. But I think he might not offer it to me because he knows that I'm not looking for his kind of armor.
Yeah, I didn't say you're coming. You're going to go set up the surgery.
Right. Yeah, I'll go do that. Anyways, I'll go set up. I wonder if Lionstalker's around.
I love how alcohol distracts him completely.
Oh, our good old alcoholic surgeon.
Yeah.
I'm sure you are in great hands, Sam.
Yeah, the only kind of surgeon.
He's a high-functioning alcoholic. It's okay.
I lean over to Gorik, and when I lay down for the surgery, do not let him have the 2 bottles of fine wine in my bag. They're worth a lot of money. I don't want him to drink them.
Greg, while they're going to the armor, I would want to go to the merchant's quarter.
Yes.
He needs more gross butter.
They're largely in the same spot, right? Unlike the foundry, which kind of needs its own quarter to do things with. The leather worker is in the merchant quarter of this city, right? Yeah. It's in this twisting maze of a bustle of city streets with hawkers on every corner selling you anything imaginable.
While we're here, I would look for Scarlet in the merchant's quarter, knowing that Jesus here is Giselle doesn't matter.
Yeah. You know the way to Scarlet's. You've done a lot of researching around. After a little bit of conversation with people in the streets, you find yourself coming up to a very just simple merchant's quarter building. Single floor with a little sign showing the symbol of the Mercers on it. And just a little guild shop. The windows you can look into show you nice pristine shop conditions on the inside, shelves with rows of trinkets and odds and ends on them, and you see very few customers, but at a desk on the other side is a woman in scarlet dress, just kind of sitting and reading a book in the corner, waiting for people to come in.
I would go in then, and what do I need to purchase? I don't really need any spell components right now. I guess I would just kind of look around her wares, because I don't need to buy anything.
All right, you do some window shopping. What, if anything, would catch your eye?
Owl feathers.
Owl feathers. Oh yes, owl feathers. They are quite easy to find. You live close enough to the woods and the mountains both that there are different types of owl feathers. In fact, you can find them along the shelves in kind of a smaller corner of the shop.
Yeah, I would just kind of browse until she says something to me, if she ever does.
She quietly reads her books. If you glance over to her, you'll notice that she occasionally looks up to keep an eye on you, but doesn't move to sell you anything, just continues to read.
Okay, then I would walk up to her and say, hello, my name is Chandler. I'm here in search of magical components.
Excellent. Hello, Chandler. What exactly are you searching for?
Well, I'm just kind of looking for prices. I'm kind of broke at the moment, but...
cheap magical components. Well...
Not cheap, just...
Not just any magical component will do for any spell. I'm sure you're quite aware. What can I do for you? What are you trying to cast, my friend?
I don't really need to purchase purchase any magic components. I was just coming in here to talk to her. Yeah, I would just purchase a few owl feathers, just like.
Okay, she will sell you some owl feathers.
How much are you short for your pearls that you required?
The pearls cost 100 gold pieces.
Yeah, how many gold pieces do you have so I can make the difference?
Oh, I only have 93.
All right, I'll give you the 7. Don't you need 100?
Yeah, but I
Do
feel
you
like
want
we're gonna need to come buy pearls when like we need them. You know what I'm saying? Like 100 gold pieces. I'm not gonna just. Yeah.
I don't think she likes a nice fine bottle of wine, so I can't really trade her the wine for the pearls. So.
Does she value pearls before wine?
No, yeah. I would just kind of look through her shop and just kind of see what she has.
Okay.
And if she doesn't say anything to me when I mention my name, then I would.
No, she does not mention anything when you give a very common name throughout the city.
Okay, yeah. So I would come in and I would that's all I would do.
Shade there.
Okay. All right. You purchase some owl feathers. They cost you a handful of copper. It's probably like a copper piece per owl feather.
Okay. Yeah. I'd purchase those then and then leave.
Okay. Excellent. So, what are y'all doing? What's the plan?
Alright, we're gonna hit up the weird armorer real quick.
Alright, you enter Brimplestein's shop. Of course, the little gnome pops up on top of his counter, the big broad smile. Oh, you're back! Yes, what can we do for you?
Well, I couldn't get the hippogriff teeth that we were looking for.
Oh, that's because you're looking for the wrong thing! Pterodon teeth! Pterodon teeth, yes?
But no, I couldn't find any of Zed thing.
Hippogriff teeth are like molars. They don't do as well. You need something sharp!
Well, I've got these, and I pull out the griffin claws.
Ooh. Look at those. I could definitely do something with these, I'm sure. Not quite what you're thinking. No, they're too long.
I got these, and I like pull the head out of one of my sacks, and I got a griffin head.
Oh, well, you did do some hunting. I'll give you that. Just the head, though. Oh, well.
I have feathers, but...
feathers are very well renowned for their, armor capabilities.
I don't know, but...
No, it is sarcasm. Young Satyr, you need to learn some sarcasm in business.
Light as a feather, durable as a feather.
I love how we clarify this one. What's sarcasm? Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Anyway, young Satyr, tell me. What do you want me to do with that head? I'll do it. I'll do whatever you want.
I want you to eat it at a time while I watch.
You are a very, very dark-humored dwarf. I'll have you know.
Can you attach it to the shoulder of my armor?
Oh, of course, yes! Like a second head, intimidating in battle. Its blind eyes and crooked beak striking fear into your enemies. Very good, yes. I can do this.
I was thinking more over the whole shoulder, but you're the armor.
Oh, well, that's much less entertaining. Sure,
I don't want a weird second head.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. You funny.
All right, shoulder piece it is.
All right. Would you like some crystals to put into that head so they're not just empty eyes?
Well, sure. You have your own crystals. I'm very good at making fake eyes.
I just pull out one of the crystal spears and plop it on the table.
Oh, very fine crystal. Yes, I will. I can work with this. Yes, perfect.
All right. So I'm still waiting how many days that you require?
It's been 1 day, sir. You'll get it at the end of the week. My little fingers can only go so fast, you know.
Do you want these claws?
Sure. I can't put them in your armor. Not for your purpose. But I could perhaps do something with them. Yes. Are you selling them to me?
Yes, sure. Let's sell them to you.
He picks them up. Oh, they seem to be in decent shape. Yes, I could do something with these for sure. Those are very expertly crafted. Oh, yes, I see that you've cleaned the flesh out of the nails. Very good. I believe I could give you 2 silver pieces per claw.
All right, I'll take it.
Done! A deal is struck!
He's way too eager every time we come to see him.
Yep.
All right, thank you. I will see you in a week.
That's where we find out he gets so excited. Like every time he's like, a deal is struck. This is where we find out he's actually like a devil or something. And
Yep. You're selling your soul every single time you buy something from you. I'll give you 2 silver pieces and you'll give me your soul. Oh, very good.
The deal is struck.
So for your 5 claws, he pays you out a single gold piece, 2 silver for each, and collects the claws, puts them back in a cabinet somewhere, and when no other business to be done, goes back in the back and continues his sewing process.
Perfect. I've got journalist scrap, a hippogriff, and griffin feathers. I think that's everything I need. So, what do you guys need to do? Are we ready to go do the surgery? I don't really want to see this again so soon. But
I want to go and see Choppish. Choppish? Is that his name?
Choppish. Who are you thinking of?
Is that the old druid man? Because my notes said
Choppin.
Okay. Because my notes said Choppish the old man, but that was wrong, man.
Joppin. I have spelled it as Jopin. Joppin.
Oh, that's very different. Okay.
You're like the Wheel of Time to me, Greg, where if I hear the name said out loud, I have no idea how you spelled it.
How would you say that?
I thought you said choppin', like choppin', like chopping wood.
No, choppin', like joppin'.
I'm not like Chopin, but how Americans would probably pronounce it.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, actually, Faye.
Yeah.
What is it supposed to be said like?
Which one?
I don't. Screw it. All right, you go see the old man.
Well, I'm going to see. What was his name now? Fucking Joppin.
Right?
I can't make this G fat enough. Okay, Joppin. I'm gonna go and see the old man.
You find Joppin and his disheveled self sitting in a different garden this time, not near the tower itself, but you ask around and he's just in kind of a more aristocratic part of Sarmanath, and he has a noble friend with a large garden and a big fountain in the center that he just kind of is sitting in his kind of meditative pose, once again staring up at the sky.
Okay, I will approach him.
Hello. Welcome back, young Rose. How are you today?
I'm fine.
Oh, that's good. Did you discover what was up with the griffins? It was, you said, yes.
Yeah, I did.
Good. Did you give them the cry?
I did. That was pretty good. And then I went up there, and then I went into the cave, and it turned out there was this weird guy who stitched his corpses together, and he kind of controlled them and apparently raised them by birth, so they attacked us and we killed them all.
Oh, disappointing. We had to end the lives of living creatures, but that is unforgivable, to twist nature in such a way. I am glad.
Why would somebody do that?
Many seek to harness the power of nature in unnatural ways. The whispers of power are often too much for the frail souls of humans and other mortals.
This dude is the most ASMR anybody can be. I'm like, why are you talking something like that?
Yeah, Greg,
relaxing.
Could you lean into the microphone and make some crackling noises between?
Whenever I'm really anxious, can I just go and talk to this dude for 10 minutes? I feel so much better.
Maybe we're gonna get like some scratching sounds. We get the pen on notebook paper sound.
Just do some nice tapping noises. Yeah. I like it. I'll just say I feel like I let everybody down. I put all my people into grave danger, and I wasn't able to save those creatures, and I killed this man creature, but I don't feel any wiser, you know.
Sometimes we must make mistakes on the journey in order to grow ourselves. Do not fret overly, young Rose. It is all part of the path we must walk. This is why we walk it together often. Many seekers go off alone and are never heard from again. Yet those who walk the paths together are often much more successful.
I guess that's true.
Next time you will be one step wiser. Perhaps you will be able to see things as they really are, clearer, or perhaps a little faster.
Well,
oh, I'm sorry, what was that?
I will try to expect a guy who sews corpses together in every cave now.
That is probably not quite the lesson that we wish to learn here.
I guess I will have to think about this for a while.
Grow, learn. This is the way of nature itself.
Oh, can I stay in this garden for a little bit? It's quite nice here, actually.
Please, yes. I am sure that my friend Jean-La will be more than happy to allow another presence here.
Oh, I didn't know that Jean-La had such a nice garden. He never seemed to be into gardening. He's more the book type, I think.
No, you're right. She is not much of a gardener. But she does have a very excellent serving staff.
Oh, okay. I'll sit down over there then.
Yes. Sit, listen, breathe.
I'll just flop down on the grass on my back. And I'll just like have all my...
There, I just heard breathe.
I'll just flop down and just put my arms and my legs away. I'm just lying in the sun. That's what I'm doing.
All right. Rose, you have a very relaxing, meditative stay in the garden of Janlar, the dragon of Sarmanath.
Does she ever stop by and actually see me, or she just like, who's this person in my garden? Oh my god, no. I'd be so upset if somebody did that to me. Okay.
I can tell you, as somebody has had that happen, it's fucking random as shit. When you go outside, you walk past your window and you're like, why the fuck is there somebody in my garden?
Yep.
Still in the garden.
All right. So, Rose has a nice meet up with Joppin, and you guys are still in Sarmanath. What's the plan? What are we doing? Are we hacking into Sandbar?
I think Sandbar gets back to like Tom finishing up cleaning this room with probably like a very plain stone table with like straps on it.
Okay.
And he says, "Sandbar, it's good that you showed up. I think we're gonna do the surgery. We're gonna do the surgery tomorrow. I need to learn
surgery.
A different spell or two.
I need to learn surgery.
Also, I met up with Lionstalker while you were away. And we had a bit of a contest to see who could sanctify themselves more. And that man can handle a lot of sanctification. Goric, I need to go over some details. We'll see you in the morning, Sambar.
I look at Sambar and I'm just like, I just cast Bless on him and just leave.
Good luck. Good luck, my friend. With you. You go to leave and I'm already leaving with you. I'm like, yeah. I'll accept the blessing, but fuck this. I'm out.
But once he's gone, I say, Gorik, for the surgery tomorrow, do you want to be the one who handles the knife, or would you rather be the cantrip boy?
That's actually a good question. How good am I at medicine?
Well, is that the new name for?
Let me go over my strategy with you here. You can use spare the dying, I assume, right?
Yes.
The cleric of death can spare the dying.
I can spare the dying. I've heard that you can, but sometimes forget that.
It's been known. So, I imagine that most surgeries, if this was a well-established practice in this medieval world, would probably have one person handling the knife and another person casting Spare the Dying on infinite repeat to help stabilize this person repeatedly as their insides are cut into and exposed to the elements.
I am uncertain about your training. Have you ever been formally trained in medicine?
How common would it be for, because like going back, right? It like the level, the barrier event, like the skill floor for like cutting into people and doing like bloodletting and surgery is lower, right? Like there's less expectation.
The skill floor of bloodletting, I suppose, is fairly low. Like
right.
You just gotta cut
what
somebody.
I'm saying is, would it have been something that like is it pretty common for clerics to be involved in these kinds of practices? Like, would it be common for most clerics at some point to have sat in on like some kind of surgery?
Potentially, yes. Clerical healing is a thing in like a magical world, right?
Right.
So I imagine that is mostly you would go to a cleric for that kind of service. But
like if you have an arrow lodged inside of you, that arrow has to be safely removed.
I imagine there is some amount of that. Yes. So my question is, are you a cleric that was trained in medicine? I imagine there are clerics who have training in that, and that is the service they perform in the temple. And there are other clerics that do not undergo that training. They perform some other service to the temple, right?
I don't have medicine.
I'm pretty sure.
I asked Lion. You know, when we were in that contest, I probably asked Lion Stalker if he has the medicine skill.
Lion Stalker says, "Hey, I have performed my fair share of cleanings and my fair share of tending to wounds in my lifetime. Life on the mountain can be a bit rough and tumble."
Okay, so I probably didn't bring it up at the time, but I'll probably go hunt him down. I say, you know what? You bring up a very good point, Gorik. I'll go see this. My hand might not be the most steady. I'll go see if Lion Stalker could do the surgery.
I think that would be wise.
Bring in the second alcoholic for the surgery. Very good.
Yeah, we'll use our substitute alcoholic for the surgery. That's much safer.
That's trained in medicine.
I'll track down Lion Stalker, who's probably not that much better off than Tom right now.
Lion Stalker will kind of sober up when you present this to him, and he says, "You want me to cut into your friend and remove some silver? Can you explain
so
what's
I
going on here?"
I attempted to remove a curse from him, and it worked, but fleetingly, temporarily, the kind of way that you'd expect if there was a physical manifestation that was causing it to linger. There's more than just pure magic going on. If it was just pure magic, I could have dispelled it by now. But there's something physical that's staying behind, and we need to excise it.
You know
I can perform other duties during it. I can use my magic to help keep him stable, but I personally don't have much.
Cutting out?
They said that there was something in the pit of his stomach. I think he's the one who brought up the idea of it being silver. I don't know what it is. I don't think anyone knows what it is. That's all we know, is that it's something supposedly in the pit of his stomach.
You're asking for much more than a common treatment of a wound, pulling out an arrow, sewing up a sword. People who take damage in the organs of their body are often dead unless magic can be used to cure them. I
have plenty of magic that I can apply. So I have a spell that would allow me to temporarily leave him in a catatonic state. essentially dead for all intents and purposes. And during this time, his body would essentially become very resistant. Everything would sort of harden up in a way. It would make it a lot harder to screw up and nick something and kill him with a slip of the hand.
And you want me to root around in his stomach and find something?
Well, I mean, if you don't want to do it, is there anyone else who could? I will do it myself if I have to.
My concern, young Lightbringer, is that a curse as powerful as that may be harder to remove than simply pulling out foreign objects. Perhaps removing whatever is in there might kill him altogether. Perhaps it would worsen the curse. What do we know about this curse? You must tread very carefully when it comes to magic like this.
Well, the biggest concern with not doing it is I don't know how long he'll last if we don't remove the curse.
He's withering
It's a bit
away.
of a... No, it's... I think somebody might kill him. It's a bit of a horrifying thing that it's attempting to compel him to do. I'd probably kill him if he ever gave in to the urges that drive him now.
Well,
you're a good friend, Tom.
Well, would you not?
I don't think Gorek's there, but
okay.
I don't disagree with you. It's likely that a cleric would need to put him down if he just started feasting on
if he just started like ripping into and devouring rotting corpses. Like, I think talking about like not just the unsanitariness of it, like the ethical concerns as well.
Your first concern is it's unsanitary?
Well, no, but also the ethical concerns. Right, like that's kind of a big no-no, right?
All right. Lionstalker thinks for a moment and says, You have been a seeker for a very short period of time, but I fear that this might be too hasty an action. You are mine. You passed my trial, and I do enjoy your company, young Lightbringer. I will aid you in what I can. I worry that it might not come to the conclusion you are expecting.
I would understand that. Let's see.
Really, he just wants to play doctor. All right.
Well, we will both need a clear head in the morning.
Yes.
And he casts a restorative spell that removes the effects of the sanctification ceremony that you underwent together during the day. And he says, Come then. Let me rest up for the night. I will need a steady hand in the morning.
Thank you for your help. I've already found one of the medical rooms and made sure everything was clean and prepared. So I give him like a room number and a location and tell him just show up in the morning and everything should be ready for you.
Excellent. What was it you were trying to ask here, Janlar? You need to purchase licorice root. Yes.
Yeah,
licorice root.
Licorice root.
Licorice root's a little expensive. It'll cost you a silver piece per casting.
It's fucking delicious, though.
I'm gonna buy like 10 castings of that. Then.
She has that on hand. You can pay out a 10 silver for it.
Okay.
All right. So the next morning, Lionstalker comes in his full regalia. He has bright, flowing golden robes that hang down over his hands, and there is a hood on it that is shaped in the face of Feyama, which is this kind of large, oversized crocodile, and his face is kind of hidden behind the teeth of this as he enters the room. A large, heavy chain holding the religious symbol of Feyama is on his chest as he enters this room with the table and the restraints and the preparations for some surgical work.
I just want to check before we do all of this. Lionstalker, do you have access to the Greater Restoration spell?
Indeed. I have been.
Do we want to try that first?
I don't believe it might help Janlar, but I don't believe we'll help Sambar with that one.
It will give me 2 hit points more.
I know Sambar's case is a curse. I can verify that much.
As they're saying that, I'm laying on the table just like looking around as they're talking. I just look at Gorik and I'm like, please don't let them kill me. I don't like the look of these religious folk.
And then you remember that Gorik is also religious folk.
Yeah, but different religious folk.
In his large robes, through his like alligator-faced hood, he says, "Fear not, child. Feyam's bite is a healing one for sure. None have come through the other side of my ministrations and not lived."
You have nothing to worry about, Sambar. I spent 2 whole days thinking about what weird combinations of spells I could use to aid you in this.
That's reassuring. All right, let's do this. And like, I'm already shirtless and I'm sitting there. I'm like just laying there like, I'm gonna die.
I don't believe the straps will be necessary, but you'll have to accept this magic. It only works on a willing subject.
I'm willing enough as I can be. Come on.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Feign Death on him.
All right.
He becomes resistant, but not immune to physical damage during this effect, and it won't wake him up. So essentially, until I dismiss the spell, he is essentially indistinguishable from death.
Basically, he's in a medically induced coma, pretty much.
All right. Yeah. Sambar, you accept the spell and fall into a deep and dark well of night.
Ah, the Silver Lord area again. Hey, I'm home.
The surgery begins. The experienced hand of Lionstalker he pulls back his robes, begins to trace down Sambar's torso, and begins to find exact areas. He pulls out a sacrificial dagger worked from the overlong tooth of a crocodile from the Moonflow, and begins to cut into Sambar's body.
Thank God it's not actually Greg doing the surgery, because that's not the way you get to the stomach. You want to start at the bottom of the diaphragm, but you're telling the story.
He begins cutting in at the bottom of the diaphragm. And I don't fucking know, man. I did nuclear engineering, okay? I am not a medical doctor.
He stabs you repeatedly.
He stabs you repeatedly in the heart.
And it works.
And it works because he's got ranks in medicine.
Commits medicine.
Yeah.
It's the horrible crime of medicine.
He begins cutting into your body, asking the clerics in the room to provide magical healing where necessary, as he works his way up into the stomach area and begins looking. He begins looking for foreign objects, and as he works, he kind of shakes his head, looking around, like, "I am not seeing what you are looking for. You say there is something in his stomach." And he kind of bades you to look in. Says, "There is not here."
Give me a moment here, and I'm going to cast Detect Magic.
Yeah, didn't we detect a magical pit? Isn't that what we saw?
Mm-hmm.
Magical hole, yeah.
Yes, I'm going to cast Detect Magic here.
Okay.
Do I have a bag of devouring portal on the inside of my stomach? Is that what's going on right now?
When you cast Detect Magic, you sense necrotic magic in this area. There is a field of necrotic magic in Sambar, but there's not a physical object here to be seen.
Okay. So there's a field of necrotic magic, but there's like a source in his stomach, right? It seems like it's stemming from this area.
Yes, it's localized in his torso. Yes.
Okay.
Janlar will walk up and cast a spell magic.
I was gonna do that.
All right, you cast a spell magic.
I really wanted you to cut him up first because you were really intent on doing so.
Okay. I mean, you can do it as well, because then
I didn't know you had to spell magic. If you want to do it, then you can do it.
Yeah, so I'll attempt to dispel magic. I like say I can see it. It's not physical, but it is localized in his stomach. It's magical. Make sure this opening remains available for me. And I'm gonna like wash my hands in the water, and I'm gonna reach into his stomach with like both hands and I'm going to try and, like, with Dispel Magic going off, I'm going to try and grasp this source, like this necrotic field, and extinguish it. Just kind of like...
he poked me in the bottom of the lungs, cough, cough.
Yeah, I like reach into his stomach, and I, like, reach around the source, and I just try and, like, snuff it out with my hands.
All right, you need to make an ability check based on your spell casting ability.
Okay, which is
equals, what? Your spell casting ability as a cleric is wisdom.
Okay, so +3.
And you're proficient in spell casting, obviously.
Yes, so +5. It's a 24.
Ooh, oh shit. Okay, let's do some math. Spells level +10. Yeah, you got it. Okay. With that, you reach in and you grab into this magic, and as you cast a spell, it begins to loosen around the binds of Sambar's like being. Like it's like latched into his life force. But with your magic, you are able to kind of untwine it a little bit and begin removing it from Sambar. And as you do so, the necrotic aura just kind of dissipates and disappears before your eyes, slowly and surely removing itself from Sambar. Sambar, you were put into almost a death-like sleep. You're in a pit of black nothingness around you. As you kind of float here, just unconsciously and nowhere, you see a large silver light, and you feel drawn to it. You kind of.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely drawn to it. We both know. I'm like.
You begin drifting your way towards it, and as you look down, you see something below you. There's a twisting mass of corridors, all in this strange metal, this kind of dull gray, almost like steel. You see a maze of it, rooms, bars, locked away inside. You feel almost as if you're between realms looking down on this. You keep floating through. You finally find the source of the silver light. You see a magnificent creature, man's shaped, but the size of a small hill, wrapped in this chain, his flowing robes dirtied, and his whole body twined up. You can feel his consciousness reaching out to you, calling you closer as he's locked in this cell inside this plane. And as you're about to reach him, you feel something inside of you disappearing, pulling itself out. And as it is pulled out of you, you are pulled away from the scene. And the cry of the Silver Lord of despair reaches your mind. And it's the last thing that you remember from this dream as you are awakened in the center of this room, with Lionstalker staring over you with a bloody knife and your surgical wounds healed.
I just like start touching. Okay, I'm still alive. Good job. And I don't feel hungry?
Yes,
I think
you can remove all hunger from your character sheet. Seems this is enough to put a stop to that.
Holy shit, Tom, you did it without burning me or killing me. I'm so proud. You muted.
Thank Lionstalker. He was kind enough to lend his services. If he hadn't, I would have been the one cutting you with a knife myself. I'm not sure you would have survived that.
I just turned to him. Thank you. I like reach into my bag and I'm like, yeah, fuck it, and I'll give him one of the fine bottles of wine.
He turns
Tom
it
is
over.
not to have any.
Lionstalker, you can see him smile as he turns the bottle over, reads its vintage, and says, I will savor this one, young friend. I appreciate the gesture. Now...
It's expensive, I hope so.
Yes, it is indeed expensive wine. A very, very fine year this was. We had a long summer followed by very, very heavy rains. Sweetened the fruit. Yes. He kind of looks to you all now and says, this is no ordinary magic that you pulled from here. I've seen very little like it before. Consider yourselves very lucky.
Luck is how we get by day to day.
Good.
What are you talking about? I'm talented. And I
Well,
just like
that
do a weird weak flex as I'm like getting off the table.
Yeah.
Like you're healed, but you still feel really weird because like your insides are just like cut open and exposed.
I'm definitely getting an infection. I can see it now.
This magic is old. It is not something I feel we will find in the records. You have told us much of this Silver Lord and the realm that you escaped from. A harrowing story indeed, but our records have come up with very little in the libraries. We could sit here for weeks and ages, I am sure, researching. There are many that would caution you to do so, but you all seem to be men of action, much as myself. I say you should travel up the Moonflow and seek out the council of those that came from the rifts. There are elves up there, much longer lived, their histories deeper. Perhaps they would know something that has been forgotten here among those with shorter lifespans.
I just look at the thing. Is that passing home? Because I feel like you guys have a bone to pick with an orc.
We could look into that, but I'm not sure it's in quite the same route. Thank you for the advice. I think we might do just that.
It seems the most prudent measure left.
We'll take a look at a map later, Sandbar, and then we can discuss exactly how we plan to go about this.
Excellent.
You should probably go get some rest. And here, I still have one of these left. And I'm going to cast Lesser Restoration on him just in case there's like a lingering infection, just to make sure that in case we get anything stupid at any point, we like take care of that before it starts.
Your clerical magics heal was ever left over after this intensive surgery. And
does that fix the life missing, or is that the next level up?
No. Just out of character a little bit. In order to fix that, you're going to need greater restoration. That's
okay. I thought so, but I knew it was a restoration.
All right.
Thing.
So with that, I think we're going to come to our first break. On the other side, we'll come back and see what our adventurers get up to after this surgery moment in Sarmanath. We'll see you in about 5 minutes, everybody.